of emergency?
Yes, please.
What's the problem?
Someone killed my parents.
Pardon me?
Someone killed my parents.
What? Who?
No.
Were they shot?
Hey, man,
It is one of the most sensational criminal cases in the country. Lyle and Erik Menendez, the brothers accused of murdering their rich parents in Beverly Hills.
What happened that night? It is very well known. Over 30 years, I've processed so much of it and still have my heart beating talking about it. Still have nightmares.
A part of Erik and I died on that night.
Lyle and Erik Menendez grew up in privilege. Their father, José Menendez, had climbed from a Cuban immigrant background to become a wealthy entertainment executive. Their mother, Kitty, was once a schoolteacher, but struggled with depression and substance issues. From the outside, the Menendez family seemed like the American dream. A Beverly Hills mansion, private schooling, opportunities most could never imagine. But behind closed doors, according to the brothers, life was far from glamorous. They claimed their father was controlling, abusive, and sexually violent. Their mother, they said, turned a blind eye. On August 20th, 1989, the facade shattered. Armed with 12-gauge shotguns they had purchased days earlier, Lyle and Erik ambushed their parents in the den of their home. José was shot point-blank in the back of the head. Kitty tried to run, but was struck by multiple blasts. The sheer violence of the killings was staggering. Kitty was hit 10 times. Afterward, the brothers didn't call for help immediately. Instead, they drove around, disposed of evidence, and crafted alibis. Later, they called 911 in hysterics, pretending they had just discovered their parents murdered. In the weeks that followed, suspicion didn't fall directly on them. Police initially theorized it was a mob-style execution, given José's business dealings. But the brothers' behavior soon raised eyebrows. Within months, they spent nearly $700,000 of their parents' fortune, buying luxury cars, designer clothes, expensive watches, a restaurant investment, and even hiring a tennis coach. Their lavish lifestyle clashed with the grieving sons image they tried to project. For months, investigators struggled. Then came the turning point. Erik confessed to his psychologist, Dr. Jerome Oziel. Those sessions, taped with the knowledge of Oziel's mistress, revealed the truth. When she went to police, the brothers were arrested in March 1990. The first trial in 1993 was broadcast live, turning the Menendez case into daytime television for millions. It wasn't about who committed the crime. The brothers admitted it. The question was, why? The defense argued they lived in terror of their father, suffering years of sexual and emotional abuse. They claimed the murders were not about money, but about survival, an explosive act of fear that they would be killed or exposed. The prosecution countered that this was cold-blooded murder for inheritance. They pointed to the spree of spending as proof of motive. The jury was torn. Both juries, one for each brother, ended deadlocked, unable to agree on a verdict. By 1995, the second trial was held under stricter rules. Cameras were banned, and the defense was not allowed to present as much detailed testimony about the alleged abuse. The prosecution zeroed in on greed and entitlement. This time, the jury was unanimous. Both Lyle and Erik were convicted of first-degree murder and conspiracy. They were sentenced to life in prison without parole. The brothers were initially sent to separate prisons, hundreds of miles apart. For over 2 decades, they had no contact. In 2018, after persistent requests, they were finally reunited at Richard J. Donovan Correctional Facility in San Diego. By then, both had married women while in prison. Their lives now are quieter, spent in educational programs, support groups, and religious circles. The Menendez case has never faded from public memory. Some still see 2 privileged young men who slaughtered their parents for wealth. Others see broken sons pushed past the edge by years of abuse. The case also changed how America talked about family violence and abuse. For many, it was the first time sexual abuse within families was discussed so openly on national television. The brothers have since become the subject of documentaries, dramatizations, even TikTok fan pages, where younger generations debate their guilt and trauma. Decades later, the Menendez brothers remain locked away, their story still sparking fierce debate. Were they monsters disguised as victims, or victims who became monsters? The truth remains tangled in a family tragedy that continues to haunt American culture.